Beginning of the show was a triple threat tag team match. So it was best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta facing off against Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian of SoCal Uncensored, and Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, and Mark Quinn. So I just recorded this full thing. It was very long. I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do it very fast because I hate my life. Okay, that was a very good match. Private Party. My favorite person of the night was Mark Quinn. Isaiah Cassidy did very fantastic too, but Mark Quinn really did shine in this show. My favorite match of the night, for sure. This was to advance to All Out for an for a first round bye in the AEW Tag Team Championship Tournament. So they had that going for them. There was a good back and forth between the three teams. Private Party, of course, being singled out as the new guys. They were attacked a lot, but they got a lot of offense in as well. And the Best Friends defeated SoCal Uncensored in the ring to win the match, which was immediately followed by the Dark Order, which came out and teased that they were going to attack the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, but they didn't, and they just went away. So yeah, that happened. Allie versus Leva Bates with Peter Avalon on ringside. That wasn't really good. It wasn't good at all. I feel like it was a good wrestling match, but for the most part, like the story itself got in the way. I feel like Peter Avalon's little chemistry that he has with Leva Bates is really making this match suffer. So yeah, I mean, Allie defeated Leva Bates and is going on to her match with Brandy Rhodes. It was all right. It was a good wrestling match. Unfortunately, though, the story bogged it down. It sucks that this had to be Allie's debut match, and Leva Bates technically too. Michael Nakazawa versus Alexa Jabali, the CEO of CEO. This was David Arquette. Ugh. You know, like, I thought it was going to be all right. Then all of a sudden, Alex Jabali just sort of starts hitting, forearms, and they weren't that good. They weren't that good at all. They fall out towards the kiddie pool. Michael Nakazawa just sort of holds Alex Jabali's head underwater for a few minutes. It seemed like he was going to kill Jabali when he, it killed Nakazawa when he flipped him into the kiddie pool. They fight back to the ring. They start attacking each other. I believe there's a chair involved. There's a table, just all the typical spots. Michael Nakazawa is able to pick up a victory. I believe he does a roll-up. He's able to beat Jabali. So during all of this, there's like backstage segments. I didn't really like those two. Those bogged down the pre-show. We had one where they pretty much talk about the Fyter Fest thing itself and everything that goes along with it. Wasn't very good. They had it just wasn't that good. They had the Young Bucks originally go out there and start talking to the camera. Well, talking to each other, then talking to the camera. Then it turns into a documentary where they talk about all the things that are wrong with it, even though like they could have left it with, because Hangman Page puts up like pretty much the same joke on Twitter, and it makes it seem a lot better. It didn't seem organic, didn't seem fluid. So that one was unfortunately negative for me. They end that thing off with Kenny Omega walking down with a drum when he stopped by was it Alex Trebek? No, Alex Trebek is like the Jeopardy guy. The assistant Dakota. He stopped by him. He tells him, all the acts left or something. Or was it Brandon Cutler? I don't know. one of the people backstage and being the Elite. Anyway, he gets frustrated and he comes out. No, he gets frustrated and he leaves. They showcase the set, and that was the end of the thing. So it starts off. The show starts off with a great video package. It was a wonderful video package, pretty much summarizing everything in AEW so far. First match is Christopher Daniels versus CIMA. It was a great match. Of course it is. It's Christopher Daniels. It's wonderful, fantastic. Christopher Daniels has a great history in pretty much every single opposition in WWE. He was in WCW. He was in TNA, and he's now in AEW. So really good stuff. And CIMA ended up defeating him. Getting a win for OWE, which really needed it at the time. Next was the Joshi, something like that. Riho, Yuka Sakazaki, and Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose really stood out in this match. I really think that she really needed this. One of my favorite things, if you watch the Twitch live stream, which I really recommend you do, you can definitely see me talking for like half an hour, with no words coming out. Nobody can hear me. That was fun. But yeah, she puts up a good thing. It's like a 2-on-1 between Riho and Yuka versus Nyla, because she is so powerful. There's a lot of big powerful spots. Yuka Sakazaki does all right. She has like this thing where like she's supposed to jump onto the top and then do a dive outside, but like she both the times that I've seen it, I think she messes it up. I don't know if it's on purpose, but she definitely seems like she messes it up, and she really needs to fix that. Even if it is like how it's supposed to be, it's way too much time. It doesn't seem realistic that people are going to be waiting that long. So at least shorten it up. If you're going to do it, make it a bit faster if you can. And Riho, of course. Riho is the intergender tag team partner of Kenny Omega before he joined New Japan. She's very good at taking a lot of offense, selling it like $1 million, and she's awesome. She's wonderful. She's she's a really good talent, and she ended up winning this match with Nyla Rose attacking her after the bell. And that was the end of the match. Adam Page, Jimmy Havoc, Jungle Boy, and MJF are next. It's a 4-way match. The winner gets to face off against Kip Sabian at Fight for the Fallen. Adam Page did fantastic, wonderful. He definitely looks like a main star. Jimmy Havoc is wonderful. Definitely showcases how much technical wrestling he has along with his deathmatch repertoire. He was trained by both Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay. I've seen on the Chris Van Vliet podcast. Well, Chris Van Vliet interview. Jungle Boy did wonderfully. I think he was the MVP of this match for sure. He did so many great moves. Of course, Luchasaurus on his by ringside, he was able to save him from like an onslaught from MJF, where he was able to be pushed back up. That was really cool. He definitely shined a lot, and it definitely shows that he's a wrestler who happens to have a famous father, rather than a person who is just a famous person's son. If you don't know, Jungle Boy is Luke Perry's son. MJF, of course, wonderful, fantastic. He looks like a star. He looks even more like a star. His wrestling's fantastic. His mic work is fantastic. He cut a promo beforehand. He's just a wonderful heat magnet. He actually had it was a heat chaser. The move was called, where like somebody's hanging off the ropes and he quickly hits him, throws him into the canvas. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. So the winner of this match was Adam Page. After MJF was thrown outside, he goes after, I believe it was Jungle Boy with a buckshot lariat, and then hits him with his backwards butterfly package pile driver. So that was a good match. It was a great match. I feel like Jungle Boy definitely shined in that one. Next, in the middle of the card, Cody with Brandy Rhodes facing off against Darby Allin. Darby Allin comes out with a body bag that says Cody 1-1, pretty much referencing that Cody is going to be 1 win and 1 loss after this. So they go into the match. Cody and Darby have a fantastic match. Brandy doesn't even interrupt at once. Like, that was wonderful. I love that, just having a manager at the side for support. Darby Allin is crazy. He throws himself into the turnbuckle, and I don't mean like spearing it. I mean he threw his body sideways into the turnbuckle, ricocheted off of it outside. It's insane, crazy, 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 man. I believe there was another thing too where like he goes for like it was a grave, like he did this and he fell backwards, and he just sort of bounced off the canvas, no, off the apron, which of course, if you do not know, the apron is the hardest part of the ring. And he was hurt. He was, I mean, you could tell he was hurting. Wonderful, wonderful match. I feel like Darby is just a brilliant talent. This was his first showing on AEW. This was my first match, a full match that I've seen of Darby Allin's. It was fantastic. Wonderful introduction. Great. Cody ends up winning. No, Cody was about to win, but they ended up getting a time limit draw as he was unable to cover Darby in time. He gets the cover in at 2 seconds left, and then it goes 1, 2, up. Looks like it's a time limit draw. They start arguing with the referee. A bunch of people, the commentators are saying, we need to put more time on there. All of a sudden, boom, headshot with chair. That has Shawn Spears behind it. Shawn Spears attacking Cody. Just crazy, insane, scary, because Cody landed on the floor. There's a pool of blood pooling around him. He gets lifted up, and there's a big piece of skin missing off of his scalp. It's just super, super crazy. They ended up talking about it afterwards. They said that Shawn Spears shouldn't have done it. I believe that's in kayfabe. And the Young Bucks said that it was a gimmicked chair. So from what I know, it was a very, very incredible accident. Cody is not concussed. He just has 12 stitches, 12 surgical staples to cover it up. All right. So that finishes up. Next is the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson facing off against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr., and Rey Fenix with their mystery partner, Laredo Kid. This was a great match. Of course it is. It's Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and the Lucha Brothers. Of course it is. This... there really isn't much to say about it. It's nothing special. It's definitely stuff that we've seen before. Just a bunch of high flying, a bunch of very fast moves. The cool signature spots that the Elite do every single time. This was definitely a match that you need to watch to believe. It is a fantastic match, but nothing special when it comes to these 6. They didn't really pull out everything. Or if they did, that, I mean, they just didn't add anything else to it. It's just a standard Elite match, which is not a bad thing. All right, so that was the end of the show. They were they had Justin. I forgot a few things. So the Young Bucks come out in a Street Fighter attire. Kenny Omega comes out just in his regular gear, but with a different hairstyle and the demon steel on his back. He was, Akuma from the Street Fighter, whereas Matt and Nick were Ryu and Ken, respectively. And, Nick Jackson goes in and he starts like doing punches and he does the idol pose, so that happened. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, and also at the beginning they go over to Justin Roberts and tell him to say round 1 fight before the thing. And that was really funny. So that happened. So he goes back into the ring, Justin Roberts, and he says, the show's over, but we have one more match after this. We're going to turn off the lights, and then we're going to bring it up for this non-sanctioned match. and that was a really cool, nice touch to it. Makes it feel like, oh yeah, they don't accept it. I hope they don't like do this as a way to like say, oh, if you injure yourself, you're paying for your own medical bills. I hope that's not the case, but still, it was a nice touch to add to it, make it a bit more story driven. Joey Janela comes out, Jon Moxley comes out. They have a fantastic, wonderful, dangerous match where at first they just start pulling out normal objects. You know, they have tables, and there was a ladder at one point, and some chairs. No chairs. Just tables and ladders. So they start attacking each other, you know, and they start hitting each other strong. And then the first table comes out. He puts it over by ringside, and then he grabs another table. He puts it on the other. No, he puts it in the ring, and they. Okay. So he puts the first one by ringside. A guy holds out a prosthetic leg. Joey Janela grabs that prosthetic leg, hits Jon Moxley with it, and then throws him into the ring. Grabs another table, and then brings that into the ring, and then he puts it in the corner. So after that, he's I think it was Joey Janela that goes through the table in the corner. So they get rid of that first. And then he goes to throw him to the other table, which he almost succeeds in. Jon Moxley throwing Janela into the table, but he ends up going outside of the ring and then immediately gets hit by a Russian leg sweep. They both go back into the table. After that, they start going into a bit more antsy stuff, as there's spots where like Jon Moxley will pull out a chair coated in barbed wire. And he uses that. I believe he suplexes Joey Janela onto the chair. Joey Janela fights back and then ends up hitting Jon Moxley with the chair itself. No real blood. It's not like a big amount of blood. It's not like gory in any way, shape, or form. It's just that you'll start noticing like little blood spots on their back because they're bleeding. After that, Jon Moxley sets up 2 tables outside of the ring near the entrance ramp. Okay, so he goes to put Joey Janela through the tables, but he's not able to. Joey Janela fights back, throws him out of the ring, grabs a ladder, puts it up, sets it up in the ring, goes into the ring with Jon Moxley, and pretty much just kills himself. He puts Jon Moxley onto one of the tables and he jumps off of the ladder. So he places him on one of the tables. He jumps off the ladder. Everybody's saying, please don't die, and he's like, yeah, I'll die if I want to. And he does that. Okay, so they get back into the ring. They start fighting it out a little bit. A little other thing that I want to mention. Only one of the tables breaks. The other one is just sort of clipped with his leg. So they're side by side. Joey Janela hits the second table. He does not hit the first one full force. So that one's still kind of intact. It's like a little broken, but not fully. So they're in the ring. There's like 2 barbed wire planks, you know, it's pretty much put onto this big board, and one of them's put in the corner, and Jon Moxley just sort of rams himself into it. He has like a little bit of barbed wire in his skin. It's crazy. It's insane. But the real climax of the match was when Jon Moxley gets a bucket, puts it into the ring, grabs out a bag, boom, thumbtacks. Goes right over to Joey Janela, takes off his shoes, takes off his socks, so it's just bare feet, and he throws him onto it. Joey's selling the thumbtacks, and then he does an inverted atomic drop onto the thumbtacks, hitting his feet in the process. It seems incredibly painful. He's screaming out. So but Joey looks over at Moxley and he just goes, come on, hit me again. And then he flips him off. So Jon Moxley hits him, knocks him on the floor, grabs the other bag of thumbtacks, throws that onto the floor, and then hits, it's not called the Death Strider, that's in Japan. This is called the Paradigm Shift, which is the same move. It's just an elevated double underhook DDT or a Dirty Deeds onto thumbtacks. And he won with that. My voice really hurts because I did this already. So after that, Jon Moxley is celebrating. He did the only way that he can by taking out the thumbtacks that he landed on, because of course he landed backwards onto the thumbtacks. When he's attacked by Kenny Omega then puts him through that second table that wasn't completely broken, and then puts the other broken table onto Jon Moxley, goes up to the top rope and hits him with a double stomp off the top rope. Takes Jon Moxley, drags him over by the kiddie pool again, but he doesn't take him to the kiddie pool. He takes him over to the musician set, where he then hits him with a microphone stand, the drum sticks, where he just sort of plays Jon Moxley like a drum, and he hits him with a guitar. Okay, so that's it. He walks away. Jon Moxley is being taken care of by referees. Referees start carrying him. He starts walking towards the entranceway when a cameraman sort of falls over, and he smiles. And JR is like, "Oh, is he smiling? No, is he that sadistic? No, it's because the cameraman fell." Oh boy, my throat is hurting. So he goes up to the top of the ramp, when he just pushes away violently the referees. One of them almost falls into the kiddie pool, which would have been devastating. But then he's attacked by Kenny Omega again, where I forget exactly what he used, but he ended up hitting him with a Dirty Deeds onto, hitting Jon Moxley with the Dirty Deeds onto that item. And then he stood tall, and he walks away, and Jon Moxley looks up, and he's smiling. So that's it. That was the show. That was the show. This time, it was recording. There was audio. Oh. Overall, a good show. Overall, a great show. The pre-show wasn't that good, but the rest of the show made up for it. And it sucks because the first match of it was a fantastic match, my match of the night, with Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn being my favorite tag team of the night, and Mark Quinn being my favorite superstar of the night. This was such a great match, and it was just washed out by everything else, the backstage stuff, and the sad singles match between Allie and Leva Bates. With it wasn't the wrestling that was wrong. It was just is that storyline between Leva Bates and Peter Avalon that really sunk it for me. And Michael Nakazawa and Alex Jabali didn't do that well, so that was the only thing that sucked. But the main show itself was great, wonderful. I mean, you had such great talent on here: Christopher Daniels, Jungle Boy, Adam Page, Cody, Darby Allin was fantastic. Kenny Omega, are you kidding me? Jon Moxley was so good in this match. Like, it was insane. So, and of course, you have great stars coming out of this. Like, I mentioned Jungle Boy. I mentioned Darby Allin, MJF, Nyla Rose. She did fantastic. Laredo Kid could only benefit from this. Joey Janela. Just such great names that you're going to be able to get to know. This is a great show. This is a wonderful show. We should not let the pre-show determine the full value of the match and of the show itself. A lot of people say that this is proof that AEW is, it's not going to be as good as we think it is. They have a slip up here and there, but that's all right. Everybody can. This is their second show. They are allowed that. If you are a big, multi-billion-dollar company that is putting on a very crappy show that is, that you've been doing for years, that is when you get to the problems. And this was just in the pre-show. The pre-show can be bad. It's not a part of the actual show itself. And the pre-show is usually the free show, the free show pre-show. So the main card was fantastic, and I think that's what we should take out of it. Yes, there were some slips. There was some slip-ups. Yuka Sakazaki, she had a slip up or two in that match, but it was a fantastic match. This was a fantastic show. Great by any standards. I told it on the live stream. Again, check it out. I have a friend at work that I talk to that says that he thinks that he liked this show more than WrestleMania this year. Which this WrestleMania wasn't a weak WrestleMania. It was a good WrestleMania. And the fact that he thought that was the case is, he's not everybody, but that just goes to show how good these things are, because there were quite a bit of stuff in WrestleMania that did drag it down. And frankly, I think I agree with him, because there was so much content in WrestleMania, it just dragged it down, bogged it down. By the time we had those great moments, it was already too late. This was great, fantastic, wonderful. I loved it. The pre-show, it wasn't that good, but even then, you had the greatest match of the night, in my opinion, as the first one. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on it. If you guys like that, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys want to see more, make sure to hit subscribe. Go follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/King Kaiser, so that you can see this live along with everybody else. And even if you don't follow me on Twitch, you can go over to twitter.com and you can follow me on there, twitter.com/King Kaiser. And you'll be able to get all of the notifications for when I do go live streaming. So if that fancies you, then go ahead and do that. Anyway, that's it for right now. I really like the show. I think it was probably the weakest show that AEW has ever had. There's only been 2. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's hope that we can work out these kinks by Fight for the Fallen. I think that we will. All right. I'll see you guys later.